Good morning, CGMTV. We here direct. You know what it is, man. Last night was a Super Bowl. Crazy game, man. Much respect to the Falcons. They definitely shut me up. I had them getting 8 points. They definitely proved me wrong. Came out the gate strong. Scored 28 points overall in the game, but it just wasn't enough. One thing that I did say in my video that held true: Matt Ryan will always be Matt Ryan. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, what you gotta understand is that there are things in history that you cannot ignore. An MVP hadn't won a Super Bowl since 1999. A team hadn't won a Super Bowl when they're losing their coordinator, offensive or defensive, the next year in about, I think it was 15 years, if I'm not mistaken. Seattle had lost their coordinator, and then, they lost Carolina back in the days, lost a coordinator, and they lost. Whenever you lose that coordinator, 9 times out of 10, his mind isn't into the game at hand. Kyle Shanahan's mind wasn't into the game at hand because Atlanta should have scored some field goals. Atlanta scores about 2 to 3 field goals. Guess what? That game doesn't go into overtime. That game is won by the Atlanta Falcons. So, Atlanta has a lot to gripe about. Atlanta definitely has a lot to gripe about, but they came out with a loss. New England came out with a win. It's crazy. Tom Brady threw 60-something pass attempts. Actually, he was 42 of 66. 42 of 66 for 466 yards. He threw a lot of pass attempts. Atlanta kept stopping them from the run. But the issue is I kept telling people, if you keep attacking, eventually they're going to have to give. And that's exactly what happened with Atlanta. Atlanta did something that I did not expect last night. They had a great defense. Their defense held New England. Mind you, this is a team that I had scoring 31 points, had scoring 24 points before the fourth quarter in my prediction. They held the New England Patriots to 3 points. I'm not going to put up 2 hands because then that'll be 6. They held them to 3 points with 6 minutes left in the third quarter. That's when all hell broke loose. They were up by 25. It looked like there was no stopping the Atlanta Falcons. And then here came Matt Ryan at the end to give the Patriots a crutch, to go ahead and walk right into the end zone each and every single time. It's crazy that, it pretty much came down to a bunch of 3 and outs and, a couple of short field advantages for the Patriots because Kyle Shanahan didn't want to kick a field goal, and because Matt Ryan will forever be Matt Ryan. Let's just be honest. He had a very, very costly sack, which pushed them back to 3rd and 28. Then they got a false start, which put them at 3rd and 33. And at that point, it was you pretty much just cost your team a field goal by not handing the ball off and just running the football. They should have just ran the football on second and 11. And honestly, that could have been game over. If they run the ball on 2nd and 11 instead of trying to throw the ball with Matt Ryan, who knows what happens. Tom Brady, you know what? I'm reading all of these comments on Facebook, and a lot of them are very, very shocking. Because you have a lot of Atlanta fans now saying Tom Brady is the GOAT. Let me get this straight with y'all. As much as I'm a California guy, I'm a Tom Brady guy. I cheer for everything that's California. There's another California guy that I cannot put Tom Brady over. Joe Montana. Let's just be real. Last night was an indication of why Tom Brady is not better than Joe Montana. Joe Montana's not going to put himself in a situation like that. Last night, Tom Brady looked like a loser. And for a good 3 quarters, Tom Brady looked like a loser. Like, there's no way of getting around that. Like, he was like 17 to 34 at some point or something like that. His quarterback rating was like a 64.9 or something like that when they showed it on Fox. And I'm like, man, this is about as bad as I've seen Tom Brady in his whole career. And it's funny because he had the best year, as you could say, that he's ever had. Like, 2016 was a really, really good year for Tom Brady, even though he missed 4 games. And you watch him in that game, and you're just like, can he bounce back, man? I mean, like, honestly, everyone in Atlanta was talking about throwing a parade. It was over. I got it on Facebook. Everyone's like, oh, well, when is the parade? And this, that, and the third. And I really couldn't say anything, but I laughed at every single one of those posts. You know why? Because I had a feeling. And I'm not going to lie. If it wasn't for my mother, I probably wouldn't have had that feeling. But she was like, the game isn't over. And I was sitting back and I'm thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, you know what? She may be right. The game may not be over. Because if they just scored somehow, some way, and they did end up scoring a touchdown, they were only down by 18 points with like about 8 minutes left going into the third quarter. So it's like, they got a shot. It's a long shot, but they got a shot. I didn't think they were still going to pull it out. And sure enough, Atlanta kept going for the knockout punch instead of winning in a unanimous decision. Like, they kept going for the touchdown when they should have been scoring field goals and just won a close game at the end of the day. But, it's like the Atlanta Falcons are a poor man's version of the Cowboys. They're an accident waiting to happen, man. You can't get away from play calling. And I see what Atlanta fans are talking about now, They used to always get on me about, oh, well, it's not Matt Ryan, it's not this, it's not that. It's still Matt Ryan. But I'm not going to place anywhere near as much blame as I would have before on Matt Ryan. That was just a poorly coached game in the second half by the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, they completely blew it. Like I said, you gotta kick field goals. You gotta support your defense. Before halftime, it was like Atlanta came out the gate and punched New England in the mouth as hard as they could. And I would like to say that if you had a better quarterback, they probably win. But there's nothing that Matt Ryan could have done better last night other than keep the ball tucked and take the sack. Like, he shouldn't have ran back. The only mistake that Matt Ryan had was running back and catching that sack and then trying to throw when he had an all-out blitz coming for him, which forced him to fumble near the end of the game. It's crazy. I still can't believe it. Atlanta fans, boy, y'all gotta be hurt. Y'all gotta be hurt. Y'all, like, as a 49ers fan, I was hurt 4 years ago when we were getting mopped and we came back and we couldn't win, but at least we came back. We came back from the 36-3 deficit to make it a 36-33 game or something like that. I don't remember the game between the Ravens and the 49ers, which was the Harbaugh Bowl. But I do know this much. When you're up 25 points, you probably should win that game. You have a lot of fans that are behind you that now have to say, can we ever win? That is to be continued. But that's my edition, the Super Bowl edition for CGMTV, man. Give me all your comments, give me all your likes, give me everything that you got, baby. Because we here now, and there's no turning us back. Peace. Have a good day.